Welcome to episode 22 of the Bulls Recap Podcast. I'm Joe Cowley of the Chicago Sun-Times. You can obviously read me in the Sun-Times sports section, or you could follow me on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, at @JCowleyHoops. This man, do you follow me? I know Io does, but he doesn't tell me what his name is that he follows me with because he thinks I'll block it.
Nah, I don't follow you, but I see it though all the time. So
because there's times you've come up to me and said, "Why you say this? Why you get into it with this guy?" All right, everybody, this is Dalen Terry, Chicago Bulls. We're glad to have him here because back on November 18th against the Pistons, he could have easily been knocked out of the league.
Yeah, for sure.
You messed with Isaiah Stewart.
Oh,
how's that for an introduction?
Man,
look. I've watched that video, and I will say this: his reputation. I mean, this dude's 6'8", 250, grew up in New York, boxing. There aren't a lot of guys that have stepped toward him. When you watch that replay, you stepped toward him, and he turned around and walked away.
Hey,
am I right?
However you want to say it is however you want to say it. I mean, I'm not backing down from nobody. You know that.
Did that give you any kind of in the locker room where guys like, I mean, could you tell guys appreciated that your mentality is don't back down from no one?
Yeah, Billy told me that actually right after. He's like, I appreciate what you're doing, or what you just did right there. He said a lot of guys don't got the balls to do that. Basically, and during that time of the season, it was going downhill for us. I feel like, and I think that was something like we needed to show some fight. So I feel like just me being that guy in the locker room and knowing guys had my back, it really like kind of brought us together.
So all right, let's go back to your Arizona days.
Yeah.
You played on the AAU team with the Mobley boys. Was that while you were in college or just before?
High school. Okay,
so did you have any temptation to go USC, or was it always going to be Arizona for you?
No, it was a temptation for sure. They actually told me, like I can say this now that I'm in NBA, they told me like that they were waiting on other guys to commit. They was like waiting on Josh Christopher, Jalen Green, all those type of guys, all the California guys. And I was just like, bro, I've been playing with Isaiah, Evan, even Onyeka I played with.
Right.
I'm like, we've been playing each other all this time. Like, if you don't want me, then I'm going to go somewhere else. So it was kind of like a waiting thing. And then I was like, I got to Arizona and was just like, I mean, why not?
You would go to California to play the AAU games?
Yeah, I was going to Los Angeles, all over LA, like for like three years in a row, like all summer.
So you're in college. When do you feel I can make it to the league? I can, you can always say I want to make it to the league, but when do you feel, was it your first year or second year where you're like, look, there's things I can do where the NBA, my game translates? Okay,
I'll tell you in a moment. Like, this is where like it switched for me. Like, I think I've always been obsessed with the game, and I've always wanted to make the NBA. Like, I would do a whole bunch of things like just out of the ordinary, just to tell myself I'm gonna make it, whatever. But that summer after my freshman year, Sean Miller gets fired, and Tommy Lloyd comes in, and he's the coach. Right. And I get invited to USA U19 tryouts, and I go to the tryout, and I feel like I'm one of the better players there. Like, I'm like, I don't care what nobody says. I'm at least top 12 in here. And I ended up getting first cut, right? And they came over to me, like they told me it was politics, it was whatever. You are for sure supposed to be on this team. And ever since that moment, I made it like a clear cut thing. Like, I promise you, like I'm gonna get drafted higher than all these guys. Like, and it was like Jaden Ivey's, Peyton Watson's. It's a couple guys on that team that's still in college that I watched in Final Four. I'm not gonna say too many names, but like I remember after that, like I always was like a top highly recruited kid, like 4-star, 5-star kid in all these camps. But that USA U19, after I got cut, like it took a different type of like a toll on me because I was expecting to make a team, and I feel like I was one of the guys. I feel like I got cheated, so I went a lot harder. And after that, I was like, I got to get out in this year. Like, I got to show the whole world why I should have been on that team for real. So,
do you know what your record was against Arizona State?
Never lost ever.
4-0. I actually looked it up.
Yeah, never. No. I'll lose rival games like that. No.
So you're going through the draft process,
Yeah.
and did you get a feel that the Bulls were interested, or was it one of those things where, because I remember I did my mock draft. I think I had you going early 20s.
Yeah.
I don't remember who I mocked you to, but I had you going early 20s. So you were in that range. I mean,
Yeah.
in most mock drafts, you were in that kind of 15 to 22, 23 range.
Yeah. I had a feeling. I knew there was one team in the top 10 that was very interested in me. It was me and another kid, and we worked out together. And they ended up going with the other kids. So I knew like round 15 to get ready. But the Bulls, it was weird because I was testing. So I was testing for the draft. And I actually had a whole bunch of workouts. I had like 3-4 workouts before the combine. And I got to Chicago a little early, and the Bulls were like, you come in for a workout. And then I had a couple of days, and then I had the combine. So they were my last workout before the combine. And I worked out for them. And it was just me in here by myself with all the PD guys, all the front office. And I actually ran into, he doesn't work for us no more, but Ty Abbott. Ty Abbott, he was a skill developer, but we grew up together. Like, I was a kid, and he was a lot older, but I remember watching him as a kid, whatever, and he was like, I know you. Like, I'm like, you know me? Like, what are you talking about? And it kind of like clicked for me, whatever. And we got to playing one-on-one, and it got real competitive. And I said, screw all this, me and you one-on-one, like in front of everybody.
Right.
And I just took it like as a real competitive workout. Like, I felt like I was killing. I shot it really well that day. They told me like I was the loudest person in the gym, all that type thing. And then after, I kind of didn't think nothing of it. It's like the night before the draft, my agent calls me. He's like, I need you to take this test. And I'm like, take a test? Like, I worked out for 18 teams. You want me to take another test? Like, I'm not trying to do this. Like, I'm just trying to get it over with.
Right.
And like, take the test. And I'm like, bro, I'm not taking the test. And I took the test, and I didn't like I was bullshitting. And he was like, bro.
What kind of test was it?
Like some IQ, something like.
Oh, okay. Did one team order it, or that you just hadn't taken it for all the teams to look at?
I didn't know who ordered it.
Oh.
He didn't tell me who ordered it. So I took it, and he called me back like, yo, do the test again and like lock in. I'm like, oh, all right, cool. I got you. So then I actually took the test, and he's like, all right, bet. He's like, it was for the Bulls. I'm like, okay. But I still not thinking nothing of it. And then the next day, like the 17th pick, one of my close friends, Tari Eason went, and we were represented by the same agent at the same time. So as soon as he went up, I seen him, and I'm cheering for him. I'm in Phoenix, and I got a call, and they told me they was going to draft me.
Because I heard that's funny because I heard that he was on the Bulls' radar too. Was kind of you two were right
crazy
there as far as who they're looking at.
Like we knew that though. Like it was a lot of teams wanting either one of us.
Right. I'm gonna sum something up, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong. So I look at your rookie year as you came into a stacked veteran team. Guys instantly liked you. DeMar, you called you a stepson and was raising you, and you guys had a lot of fun with that. I don't think anyone in that draft class could have busted into minutes from beyond the lottery. Guys picked from the end of the lottery on. We're going to bust into that lineup as a regular. It was just too stacked, and Billy likes to lean on veterans. I don't think that's a big secret. Last year, I thought was the toughest for you because I thought I saw you down a lot. I thought I saw you kind of you're caught in between. Hey, I'm putting work in and I'm trying to figure it out, but I'm not getting the results or I'm not getting the minutes that I feel like I deserve. Or when you were getting minutes, then maybe the next game, all of a sudden those minutes are gone.
Yeah.
This year, what I saw is a guy that became comfortable with being uncomfortable with playing time. Mm-hmm. That some days you're going to get 9 minutes and another day if it's going on. And it seems like Julian and you are he's like you last year, where it looks like he's the guy that's down a little bit now because he may get a 20, 25-minute game and have 14 points, and then he goes on the milk carton for, like 3 games where you just don't see him. And so what's that been like, and is that a fair assessment of kind of the growth pattern that not only you had to take, but it feels like Julian is doing that same kind of process?
Yeah, that's a pretty fair assessment. I think last year was a real hard year for me just because, like, I was working my ass off, like I went to DeMar every single day all the summer, and like he had to even call me a few times, like, bro, chill out, like you're doing a lot, and I'm like, bro, I gotta be ready, like So I just knew like the stigma around coach and like the organization, like they're playing veteran guys over young guys, so I just wanted to overly make it like a statement that I'm good enough, But last year, obviously, with the minutes, it was crazy. And I got down on myself for a little bit, but then this year it got to the point where I was like, bro, however, I can't control no minutes. Like, I just got to be ready for when I'm in there. And that's where it all clicked for me. Because I even at the beginning of the year, it was up and down. But I feel like once I got my stride, like a little bit right before All-Star break, it was like, okay, this is what he could do, and this is what I can bring every single night. And there's other things like I could add onto that every single time, but it's every single night I could do these few things to help the team win.
The thing that stands out is the work you put on the 3-point shot.
Yeah.
Because to me, when you look back, and you and I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, when you watch film from your first year, your guy, and I remember Billy Donovan pointed it out to me. He was talking about it. He's like, it's not like Joakim Noah's guide hand, because Joe actually spun the ball off of his hand, but they didn't like the placement of your guide hand.
Yeah. You've
obviously changed that, and now your shot, I mean, to go from last year 23% from 3-point range to 35.6. I mean, that's not that's a significant jump. How much is you changing the fundamentals, and how much is it of you just putting the work in and comfortable that I'm not thinking about it now? I get the ball and I'm shooting.
Yeah. It got to the point where like I would just shoot. Like the end of the summer, like all throughout the summer, but the end of the summer and like right before season and obviously during the season, like I would just shoot my shoulders off. Like I would shoot as much as I could. I would watch film on myself. Like I would watch film on myself like my rookie year, my second year, even in college, because I had a similar storyline in college. At the end of my college career, I started to shoot a lot better, and I got to the NBA and went back down. So it was just more like I got to watch to see like the guide hand, like all the things that everybody's talking about, and really just find what's comfortable for me. Because like I still don't think my shot is the prettiest, but shit, if it goes in, ain't nobody gonna say too much. So
I think your shot actually looks pretty damn smooth right now.
Yeah, that's what I think. So
yeah,
I think like. And I don't think it's 35. I thought it was like 36, 37, but I don't know. We can.
You want to round it up at 35.6? That's all right. We'll give you 36. All right.
I thought it was 37 from when I checked. I seen it on Twitter.
You got to call ESPN. They might be lying.
I'm just saying.
So, how important was it to have a vet like DeMar? I mean, I've seen. I covered baseball for 12 years. I've seen veteran baseball guys take some guys under their wing, younger guys. But not to the extent of DeMar, because at the end of the day, because there's so many few spots on an NBA roster, he's basically raising you to possibly someday take his spot or for him to be pushed out or however you want to think about it. Mm-hmm. And so there's some vets that might not want to do that. This dude, DeMar, I don't think people understand on the outside just what a great vet he is to the young guys on all facets, teaching them the game, inviting them to work out with them. I mean, could you have asked for a better guy to kind of bring you into this thing?
Nah, like I think he's the best to ever do it, to be honest, when it comes to stuff like that. Like I talked to DeMar, bro. I talked to him last night. I talked to him after all his games, after every one of my games. He talk about life, talk about basketball. Like it's to the point still like it's like really like a big brother to me now. Like his kids call me, have nicknames for me. Like it's all types of things that like he's really family to me now. So it's to the point where like I could talk to him about any frustrations that I'm going through. Like you talked about last year, the second year of my career when I was going down, he was a good person for me to talk to every single day to keep me sane and just to know that I could keep going because he believed in me. And I that was just one thing I always like respected by him. Like he'd shoot it to me straight, but he believed in me and thought I could be a good player to, like you said, essentially be a guy that take his spot one day. So
how tough was that when he gets traded then? I mean, you weren't the only young guy that he was close with. It seemed like the whole – even Vooch, when you talked to Vooch, I mean, that was his USC teammate. It seemed like that left a big hole, and I think it's a credit to you guys because you guys have all collectively filled that hole.
Yeah. It was tough, but I kind of knew. Obviously, with the relationship me and him have, like, he told me, like, we were working out all summer, and he would just tell me, and I'll be at his house, and I hear the phone calls and all that. So he just honestly didn't know where, and I kind of knew a little early, so I started preparing for it. So, like, when it hit the whole world, it wasn't a big surprise to me. Like, I kind of prepared for it. We already had talked about it, and he was just telling me, like, man, it's your time now. Go take advantage of it.
You, if I said to you, describe what you feel like your role is on this team right now, how would you describe it? I mean, I always said early on, irritant. Your job is to be an irritant and go out there and just cause havoc, whether it's defensive end, offensive end, with your length, or just getting your hands on things, deflections. How do you describe what your role is?
I think that's a fair assessment, but I think like I'm a 3-and-D guy, especially with me able to hit the corner threes, hitting the butter break threes now, but guarding the best player, messing things up. I kind of try to lead into like the Alex Caruso role, to be honest with you. Like, obviously we know that we had a lot of injuries the last few years, and he was really supposed to be like a 6-7 man. So that's how I kind of look at it. Like, you know what, guard the best guy, hit open threes, make the right reads, and like that's how I affect on the game.
The other thing too that I think is kind of underrated on your game this year, you're not only your ability to finish, but your ability to understand angles when you're finishing. Now you seem to have a better understanding of where to put your body to finish so the defender can't go through you, and if he does, it's going to be a foul. Where early on it seemed like you just were just go as a rookie, you were just going up, or second year, you just going up.
Yeah, for sure. I credit DeMar on that. Like, I kind of like how to get fouled. Like, I know how to get fouled now. I kind of watched it enough, and I've talked to certain guys, like even on our team, like watching Kobe's progression, like when it comes to getting fouled. Like, those are things that, like, I've noticed, like, especially if I'm playing 7 minutes, 12 minutes, it's like, okay, how can I make my mark on the game? Even if it's not with scoring, it's just like, okay, I'm going to get him fouled. I'm going to get the best player 2 fouls on him, and now he got to sit down, you know, so.
Right. You, with this series coming up and what you guys have gone through, trading Zach, everyone kind of wrote you off. No one knew what the new 3 guys, if they were even going to stick. I mean, this team was kind of a mystery right after that trade. For you guys to go through what you went through, how satisfying is it that now you're on the eve of this big play-in game with Miami, and how do you feel like you guys stack up against them? I mean, because regular season, you throw that out the window when it comes to Miami.
It's win or go home now. I think it's a testimony to like just all the, like, believing in the young guys. You know, like, obviously we don't got that many old heads. I think Booch is the old head on the team now, so it's just like believing in us, and just I think this is a key part of a development. You know, and for us to still, like, with the 3 new guys coming in, and we embraced them fully. And I feel like when Trey was playing, obviously with the injury, he's out. But like when Trey was playing, Kev and Zach, like, we meshed together. Like it was like us made in heaven, we didn't even know, you know. So obviously with the Miami matchup, like we gonna throw our best punch. Obviously, we know what's at stake. I feel like we're prepared. Like, our staff is preparing us pretty well. We just had a long practice, a long film session, you know. So I think that we gonna throw our best punch, and we gonna let the chips fall where they lay.
All right, let me get you out of here with the interrogation room. I'm just going to ask you some quick hitting questions. You give me the first answer that comes to your head. Have fun with it.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
You got to go down a dark alley. You get to pick one guy to go down with to help you out. DeMar DeRozan, who we all know is from Compton. Isaiah Stewart.
DeMar DeRozan.
All right. When you're a young guy, do vets warn you about James Johnson and the fact that that's the one guy in the NBA, black belt, MMA, do not mess with that dude?
Yeah, they don't necessarily warn us, because it's kind of like we already knew, but like they'll tell us like a real story. Like, nah, right. I'll tell you like what I seen, you know?
He's about that life.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the Bulls team, clock's ticking down. Who do you want to take the last shot to win at a 3?
Kobe White.
Okay. Who's the best dresser on the team?
You're looking at him.
Okay. Who's the funniest on the team?
I
think I'm looking at him.
I think if you want to say that, I'll take that role. But I think there's some underrated guys that the fans need to know, like Julian Phillips. He's one of the funniest guys. And
I would have never guessed that.
Exactly. I think Julian is up there on one of the funniest guys. I think Javon Carter's up there too. But I think Julian is a sleeper. That's what we got to talk about.
All right. Who's the cockiest player on the team?
I think in a good way though. I think it's Modest.
Really?
In a good way. Like
I would have said Kevin Huerter. I think he's got.
I can see why you say that. that. But I think Modest got he got the it, like he got the confidence, and like he reminded me of like how I was. So like I believe it.
Years from now, you're first child, boy or girl, doesn't matter, comes up to you and says, Pops, I got a full scholarship to go play at Arizona State. Do you allow it?
Out of here.
You ever see a ghost?
Have I ever seen a ghost? No.
Okay. Do you believe in ghosts?
No.
Okay. Sport you would play if it wasn't basketball?
Track and field.
Oh, okay. Did you do track and field in high school?
Yeah.
Okay. Last one. Airplane goes down. It lands safely on a deserted island. Team plane. This is just players only. Players, a couple coaches maybe. Who is the first eaten and who is the last survivor on the island?
First eaten?
Yeah.
Javon Carter's getting eaten first.
Okay.
The last survivor, I say like Pat or like
He will?
I think Pat. Because I feel like I don't want to tell you the reasons actually. I feel like Pat or like Zach Collins. Like,
why Pat? Since you're not going to tell the Zach reason.
Pat.
Is he quiet crazy? Because
that
is he?
Yeah,
okay.
He is. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but he is a quiet crazy. Like Pat, if you mess with him, like in a situation like that, I feel like he could come out on top.
And Zach, I don't know that your exact reason, but Zach, I will say Zach's got some crazy eyes.
Zach is crazy. I'll tell you that.
Okay, so all right, there we go. So crazy factor is the surviving factor. Yeah. You might be up there too, there, my man. Just saying, Dalen. Thanks so much, buddy.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you doing this.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, I'll see you. I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, take care. All right, Dalen Terry. He's the class clown. That dude. I mean, I can't repeat some of the stuff he says, but that dude is he's great for the locker room because he keeps things light, funny, and you know what? I didn't know about him. Like last year, I was like, I don't know if this guy's gonna stick in the rotation or not. And he looked like a guy that was questioning a lot of things about his own game. But to his credit, I mean, he's put the work in. He's a rotation guy. The second half of the season, especially with some of the injuries to Lonzo and Trey Jones, to Ayo, I think he's stepped up. And, we'll see what he becomes. I think it's going to be a huge summer for him. And then we'll see what their plans are for him moving forward and how much more of an impact he can make. But, I mean, the three-point shooting, to jump 13%, that's pretty damn good. So, all right, here we go. We'll go to Cowley Island. We got the rant. Here's the thing. Look, the organization knows how important this play-in tournament is for them. If they fall short, if it's Miami, it's going to be a horrific embarrassment. If it's the second game, whether it's Atlanta or Orlando, still an embarrassment because at the end of the day, and the only people that should be embarrassed is the front office. The coaching staff, the players, this is not on them. They only know one mentality, and that's to go and win basketball games. But the front office, they had control over this vehicle. They're going to say they didn't, but they actually did. And you see it all across the league on the bottom of the East. But if they can't even get out of the play-in again, and then they waste that opportunity to get in the top five. I did a Twitter rant yesterday, kind of the history of the NBA. And here's how the history goes, okay? It goes Magic Johnson, first-round pick, handing it off to Isaiah, top 5 pick. And then we go to then we go to Michael, top 5 pick. You go right down the line. Oh, but wait, what about the bad boys? Oh, yeah, they had top Isaiah, like I said. Oh, but the 2004 Detroit Pistons. Oh, you mean with Chauncey Billups, who was a top 3 pick and had a Hall of Famer, and Ben Wallace? Yeah, because right now there's no Hall of Famers. There's not really a top 5 pick on this roster. Shaq, top pick, wins it. That dynasty, San Antonio, that dynasty, Tim Duncan, they tanked for him. I mean, you just go right down the line. The outlier is obviously Denver, who had to get a top 5 pick in Aaron Gordon and bring him over to help get the chip. And then Golden State, who then got beat by Kyrie and LeBron, 2 number 1 picks, and they had to go and get Kevin Durant, a number 2 pick, to help them get by those 2 number 1 picks. So, I mean, you go right down the line. The history of the NBA screams top 5 pick. and talent, and that dude is the only way to win chips. So this front office, if they don't understand that, then what are we even doing here? So huge week for this front office. Not for the coaches, not for the players, for the front office. All right, let's go to the list. Talked to Modest Buchelis about this the other day. He obviously wants to be on the all-rookie team. Here are my top 5 rookies for this year now that the regular season is over. I'm going to go Castle from the Spurs. I think he's probably rookie of the year. Rishashar from Atlanta. Show some signs. I think he's kind of been less consistent than Modest. Modest deserves to be on all-rookie team, and at least from the early predictions, he's not on the first team, which is disheartening because if people actually been paying attention, he's been one of the top 2, top 3 rookies the last 4 weeks or so. Alex Sarr, it doesn't do anything great, but I think he's going to be a good piece down the road. So I like him. And then obviously Jalen Wells from Memphis. He's on everybody's first team all rookie. So I think those are the top 5 rookies that have impressed me the most. And my fear is that Modest is somehow going to get screwed out of this thing when the actual votes come out, because I think people got brought in by the beginning of the year and lost interest and didn't pay attention to what Modest has done the second half. So that's it. I want to thank Dalen Terry, thank the production boys, the tag team that we had going. That was great. And until next week, I got next.